These big brokers, they just don't get it, do they? They don't get it. If you're a broker, hang around, I'm gonna learn you something. This video is about, are you gonna be on time? No. Are you gonna be late? Yes. Why are you late? You tell them. Well, what other reason are you gonna be late? Do you not understand how this ELD works? Jesus. I'm gonna tell you a little story. 2 days ago, I was at Quaker Oats down in Atlanta. Pretty sure it's Fulton Industrial Boulevard. So if you see a load from Quaker Oats, it's Pepsi Quaker Oats, Fulton Industrial Boulevard. It's the exit before you get to Six Flags. Get off the exit, go under the exit, past the Quick Trip and all that. It's way down there. Don't take it. Upon the reviews, Google reviews, everybody said, avoid at all costs. I said, I don't ever have a problem with that. Let's get it. I'm down at the shop, Haggai, doing my oil change, and I wish I would have captured that because, yeah, I wasted a lot of oil, about 12 gallons. I forgot to close my little oil pan before I dumped the new oil in, and it was so quiet I didn't hear it until I seen a puddle under my truck. Anyway, I wish I would have captured all that. Rookie move. So I'm down at Haggai. I get done with that. I book a load for the next day, the day before yesterday, picking up Tuesday. The load's for 12 o'clock. And I get up in the morning down at Haggai Truck Center at the shop. And I get up and I pull out about 9:45 and proceed to my pickup. I get there about 11:15. I check in. They give me a door right away. I go all the way around the building to like door 171. If you ever go there, you got to blindside it. Anyway, blindsided it in. It was a piece of cake. Luckily, there was no trucks on the driver's passenger side, so it made it easy. So I blindsided it in there. In the door by 11:30, 11:45, 12 o'clock is my appointment time. I'm saying, cool, I'm ready to go. I'm doing all my paperwork, getting all my trip planning going, and I keep sitting there. And sitting there. And sitting there some more. Finally, at 5:40, my light turns green. About 6 o'clock, I'm through the guard shack, got my paperwork. I'm there from 11:15 to 6 o'clock, and I'm in Atlanta for a next day delivery in Urbana, Ohio, which is 560 miles away. Easy next day delivery, right? Not whenever you start your clock at 9:45 and it's 6 o'clock in the evening and you're in Atlanta. I don't know how long it took me to get through Atlanta, but my clock was running out when I got up past Knoxville. I had enough time to get up into Kentucky somewhere, but I opted to stop in Pioneer, Tennessee, or Caryville. Stopped at the TA, and Tuesday is not a good day for trucking up 75. I guess all the loads coming out of Florida, everybody's going back north. Everywhere was packed. On most days, it's easy to find parking. Not on Tuesday night. Even checking the trucker path, the trends, Tuesday full, starting about 9 o'clock at night. So I wheel in at Caryville. I checked the overflow lot for the pilot. It's full. So I'm like, all right, there's supposed to be 8 paid spots available over at the TA. As much as I hate paying for parking, sometimes it just makes sense. Because I'm not parking on no on-ramp, off-ramp. No, I want a designated parking spot, air parking area. So, yeah, I'm going over to the TA. I go over there, and before I buy the spot, it says they're 8. I was like, all right, let's go check it out. I wheel across, and there's an open spot, and I had the blind side in on the back side. Luckily, the hot shop that was backing in beside, he got out and spotted me, and I was like, man, that's awesome. You don't ever see that anymore. Oh, besides that, before I got back in, the truck on the other side of the hot shot, the truck on the other side, is a CRST guy, flatbed. He was blindsided in. He had 2 drivers out there spotting him. I was like, man, you don't see this anymore. Anyway, awesome job, guys. If you ever seen somebody backing in, especially a blindside or a blindside slant, get out and help them out. You know, be their extra eyes and ears. Don't just sit in your truck, look at your phone, and be like, oh, it's none of my business. I mean, do better, guys. Anyway, the guy spotted me. We got in the parking spot. I only had like 2 pull-ups. It's pretty easy. Luckily, I mean, it looked good. Normally, I can't. But anyway, I got up that morning. 10 hours later, I got there, what was it? 10:07. 8:07, my 10 hours is up. 15 minutes later, I start my clock, do the pre-trip, kick the tires, run and get a cup of joe, and I'm rolling. Now, mind you, my appointment in Urbana is 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'm 300 miles away and at my appointment time, and when I'm waking up is basically my appointment time. So the broker calls me and says, we're showing did you deliver this load, or are you gone from this load? What's going on? I said, no, I'm in Caryville, Tennessee. I'm still 300 miles away. I'm going to be there about, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock. They're like, well, why did you miss the appointment? I said, well, your customer, Quaker Oats, I checked in 45 minutes before my appointment time, was in the door before my appointment time, and green light came on about 5:40. By the time I got my paperwork through the guard shack, it was 6 o'clock, and I'm in Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, well, why can you not make your appointment? Listen, brokers, I'm going to school you real quick. Big businesses, whether it's companies of trucking or brokers, you guys wanted these ELDs. And with this ELD, once we start our clock on any given day, we've got 14 hours to do our work. Within that 14 hours, we've only got 11 hours of drive time. So when I start my clock at 9:45 in the morning, roughly what's that, 9:45, 10, 11:45 at night, my day's over. From the time I pick up your load from your customer that kept me there, down there 7 hours, I've got 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, less than 5 hours of drive time left. And I've got a good 10 and a half hour drive, but you expect me to make it in 5? Wake up, you just don't get it. If you want your shipments to arrive 100% on time, why don't you invest in some lobbyists, fight for these ELDs? These mandates restrict us. They hold us back. Brokers, you just don't get it. I just don't understand the broker that I was talking to, the agent, was just dumbfounded why I was late, why I couldn't make the appointment. Really? I mean, it's kind of common sense. But pushing forward, I get to the Urbana, and the place I went to, what is that place? Orvis. I took Orvis pallets. It's those pallets that are plastic, they're black. Load a lot of Pepsi products on them, I guess, nowadays. Anyway, Orvis pallets, light load, and didn't pay that great, but it's coming out of Atlanta. So I pull in at Orvis right around 2 o'clock, and I go in, and the lady, which is awesome, so if you're going to the Orvis pallet place or whatever, I guess they ship other stuff there too. Anyway, it's Urbana, Orvis Corporation. You go to the old warehouse, and there's notes on the door to check in. All drivers must go to the new warehouse, which is 1.4 miles away. It's easy there. It's a brand new big warehouse. So I pull in, I walk in. She said, hey, how can I help you? I said, I've got a delivery. And I handed her the paper. She said, oh, you're my 11, 12 o'clock. You finally showed up. And I kind of chuckled. I said, 8. She said, 11, 12. I said, 8. She said, oh, yeah, you are my 8 o'clock. She said, what happened? I said, well, Quaker Oats decided to hold me hostage for 7 hours. I got out of there at 6 o'clock last night in Atlanta. I said, I was able to make it to Caryville, Tennessee, and then my clock ran out. And she's like, oh my God, what's wrong with some of these places? Holding y'all up, blah, blah, blah. She got it. So if you got a load going to Orvis Corporation in Urbana, Ohio, good spot, fast unloading. Even she said, it's going to be a while, you're going to be a work in. And I said, well, how long are we talking? I got another load to go pick up. And she said, I'll get you done before 4, way before 4. I said, okay, deal, because I got a deadhead of about 140 miles over to Indiana and get the load that I got on the box now, going back down to Georgia. She said, give me before 4. It ended up being 4:15. Then I had to haul ass all the way over to Livingston, southwest of Fort Wayne. Let's just go with that. And I made it 30 minutes late for my appointment. I had a 7 o'clock appointment last night. Luckily, it's Bluebird. No, it was Bendix. It's a Bendix load. Nobody didn't say nothing about me being 30 minutes late. I was the last one. There was nobody in the docks. He said he looked at one set of paperwork, on the desk and said, "Oh, you going to blah blah blah, Georgia?" I was like, "Yes, I am." He said, "All right, go back around the building, put it at the door too." He had me loaded and rolling in 15 minutes. But what that did was start a domino effect. Atlanta held me up. I was late to my drop off and then late to my next pickup. Luckily, I'm ahead of the 8 ball on making this when it's tight. But when one broker or one shipper holds you up or one receiver holds you up like that, it's a domino effect, especially when you got multiple loads booked. Because I got multiple loads booked, because I got to get back down to Georgia at all costs, because I got a load going to New York City. This big truck's going to Manhattan. Yeah, so I got to go back. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a little rant video. I hope you're a broker. I hope you're watching this. I hope you got something you took away from it on why sometimes when your customers hold us up and we can't make the appointment. And let me tell you, I pride myself on being on time. Oh, I count on hand one time, maybe one and a half hands, since I've had my authority, how many times I've been late. And every time it's been something like that. Anyways, guys, if you're still hanging around, you're awesome. Give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, as I put videos out on regular all things trucking. And until that next video, guys, if it don't make sense, don't make dollars. See you, bye.